Hello everyone. Now we will introduce one of the most powerful building block in programming, which is function. In Go, just like most languages, functions allow us to reuse logic, reduce duplication, and write modular testable code. Let's start with the basics and build up from, up from there. A function is a reusable block of code that perform a specific task. It can accept parameters and return an output. A function is defined with the keyword func, and we add the name of the function. For example, I can have a function called greet, and inside parentheses, I will add the parameters that the function may accept, for example, name of type string, and at the end, I add the type of the output of the function. In this example, it will be a string. And here I can add as an output a return hello concatenation with name. We can try to execute the function in main. I can execute it with using the first name variable declared at the top. And let's now try to execute the function. With go main, go run. And there we go. We have in the console output, hello Jack. Let's take a little bit, let's do some cleanup first and remove this variable and also remove the variables, all the variables and the fmt println statement. And let's try to create a function that will take two numbers of type integer and return and will divide one by the other, and it will return the result. So let's call this function divide, and as a parameter it will take two parameters. One is the dividend and the second one is the divisor. And as an output, we can have, actually in Go, we can have functions with multiple output. And here in our case, we can return an integer in case we can have the division, and if the divisor is equal to 0, we should return an error. So let's begin with test if the divisor equal to 0. And if it's the case, we will return 0 instead and return an error. For now, we can create the error directly. We will have a section dedicated for error handling. We can create errors with using multiple ways. One of them is using the fmt package, using the function errorf, and we can have the function errorf. If we hover over it, it accepts a string, which is the message error, and it can be cannot divide by 0. And if it's the divisor is not equal to 0, we will return divided by the divisor and return nil in the error. We now completed the function and we can try to test it. Let's, for example, using call the function with multiple parameters. Let's, for example, take 9 and 3, and I will add a string to the division by 3 is, and take the same example and take another example of, for example, if let's, for example, it divides, it's a single, okay, it will return, yeah, that's why, actually the println function, it will accept every time a string, and it should not be an error. Our function, it will return an error. Let's define, for example, a variable called divisor, which in our case will be 3, and at dividend it will be 9, and the result of it will be divide dividend and the divisor. And this is, there is in Go, there is a common way to extract the error and also the result. We can do it like this, and then we will test if the error is not equal to nil. If it's not equal to nil, we should, for example, have an error message or println that we will print the error, and if we have the result, we will do fnt.println, and we will do the results is, and we will try to print the result. Yeah, this way we checked the error if it's not equal to null, and then we print the result. Let's try to execute our code, and here we go. It prints us that the result is 3. Let's try to do the divisor, it's 0 instead, and try to execute again, and we get the result is 0, and we get also the error cannot divide. Yeah, actually it should not print us the result, so we should add a return statement here. Let's try to execute again, and here we go. We got the error message only without the result. This way we created a function that take 2 parameters and have multiple output type, and we tried to test it, and we extracted the error and the result, we test the result if it's not. If it's not null, if it's the case, we print the error and we return. And in the normal case, we print the result. Yeah, so Go functions are simple to learn, but extremely powerful in what they allow you to do. Mastering functions is key to writing clean, maintainable Go code. That's it for this lecture, and see you in the next.